Welcome everybody. I'm going to be talking a little softly today because my son has started a new herbal supplement and it makes him very tired, and so he's in his room right now. And both the kids, I have my son that's over here and then I got my daughter over here, so I'm going to be a little bit more quiet. I have not looked forward to this video only because it's going to be on my philodendron collection and I have a ton to go through. I tried to surround them all around me. As you can see, maybe, like I've got them behind me, I've got them above me, I've got them on the right, I've got them on the left, which would be my right and your left. I don't even know. Which would be to my right and to my left. So let's jump in. I just want to go through the philodendrons that I have. I'm going to tell you the care tips that I have found to work for me. I strongly believe that it just depends on where you live in the country, where you are overseas, and what state you also live in. Humidity, the quality of air, what water you're giving them, the light that they're receiving. So let's begin with the soil mixture that I use. I use cocoa coir, however you want, whatever you want to call it. So coconut husk is what I use. Would be the easiest way of saying it. I also use perlite. I love orchid bark and horticultural charcoal with a little bit of Happy Frog by Fox Farms, that soil. I also know that they have an oceanic soil as well that others have raved about. So that's what I use for my mix. If you want to know measurements, I can also link that down below. Just let me know if you're interested. I do not use tap water. I use, for all my plants, distilled water that I buy from the store every single week. That may be excessive for some of you, so purchasing a water filter might be the best option. Probably is going to be cheaper in the long run. But here where I live, you can smell the chlorine in our water. There's a lot of fluoride. Me and my husband have a special water filter that we use by Patriot's Pantry. I don't know if anybody's ever heard that, but it filters all of that out. But even when I was giving that water to my calatheas, they turned crispy on the ends. And so I stuck with just doing the distilled water. All of my philodendrons get extremely bright, indirect light. Sometimes I even allow them to get a little bit of direct sun. I'm not saying that's good for your philodendrons, but I allow my Salome in the mornings with my Moonlight and my Prince of Orange and all those guys that I keep out in my living room. I allow them to have, like when the sun is first rising up, probably about an hour of that sun, and then I pull them away from the window and they get indirect sun all day long. Same with the philodendrons that like more humidity inside of my tropical room that I keep a lot of just my grow lights in, my grow room. My philodendrons have really just come a long way. I have a ton. I only water, I don't have a watering schedule. I play it kind of by how the pot of the plant feels. You can also get a water probe. I know a lot of people do that. I don't use one. I would like to purchase one. I just don't think about it in the beginning of the month when we do our budget. But I normally let my philodendrons just about dry out. I have done this with trial and error. With one of the philodendrons I will show you that I have the most trouble with, and I will show you that today, and you guys are gonna laugh at me. I think that's pretty much it. I mist my plants all the time. I That's just habit for me. It helps me with just calming me down, my anxiety. It gives me something to do. I love it. So every other thing, I don't know. Oh, I fertilize them. I will link the fertilizers down below that I use for my philodendrons. Let's jump in before I talk your ear off. I believe that is it that I wanted to go over with care tips that I do here in Washington. First, I'll start off with my Moonlight Philodendron. Shane from Gabriella Plants replaced the philodendron. You saw that unboxing. I did an update with that, but I left my address on the video and I just deleted it because I panicked. I didn't save anything, and I showed what came with it, and I was so pleased. They are like children to me. So my Moonlight Philodendron, he has grown a ton. This is an 8-inch pot. He came in a 4-inch pot, and he's already been potted up 3 times. 3 times. And he's given me a new leaf right there. He stays in my front room inside of my living room. So there is my Philodendron Moonlight. This is my Philodendron. Let's see if I can do this. Oh my gosh, I am totally gonna knock everything down. This is my Philodendron Salome. This is Pete. This is the only plant that I have named because he reminds me of my favorite movie growing up, Pete's Dragon. I love that movie. And when he popped out this leaf, the more mature leaf, this is the most recent one. His more mature leaf is this guy right here. He looks just like a dragon. And then he is about to give birth to this mother. This leaf is gonna be ginormous and I cannot wait. And he's starting to unfurl at the very top. So I know a lot of you have this plant. He is by far my favorite Phil. Everyone gets in a tiff about this. I don't mind. I will include this guy in my Pothos collection when I go through that. And then also my philodendron. Tomato, you know what I'm saying. This is a philodendron or Pothos Cebu Blue. These were 3 or 4 little cuttings. Now if you see my video that had the plant mail in it, Davi, my friend at Hey It's Davi, you will hear me talk about her a lot. She's one of my very dear friends. She gave me 2 or 3, 4 little cuttings. I rooted them in water, propagated them in water, and then they were little. Look at that, Davi. You see that guy? He's growing like crazy. I think she has some cuttings for me right now that she's propagating that I'm going to be filling out more of the top of this plant. So that is another philodendron / Pothos I have. This is my Philodendron Gloriosum, and you saw that in my plant haul at the very beginning of this month. He gave me a brand new leaf right there. I also got a second Philodendron Gloriosum. It was like this big bulb that Shamika from My Crazy Plant Life, you'll hear me mention her a lot, gave me in my aeroid box that I purchased. I purchased her aeroid box. I get basically a plant for 3 months straight that is either rare in the spot that you live or it could be common. I don't know. Anything tropical is very rare in Washington State. Then I have my Philodendron Red Emerald. I got this guy. I thought I was going to lose him, and then he ended up living, and he is one of my better established plants now in the care of Mawa. This is my little jungle boogie. I got this from Shamika. Little tiny baby plant. This is the Ring of Fire Philodendron non-variegated version. This plant will get huge. I just watched Hi Davi, your plant shopping with you, your recent one. You saw this one, I think it was $85 or $95 full grown. Reasons are they are slow growers, and so it's gonna take 5 years for my plant to get huge probably. But he's under a grow light, a new leaf that's bigger than the rest, and then he has one more in the middle right there. My Philodendron Brandy. I've had this one for about 4 months, 3 months now. I got this off of Etsy, and it's doing beautifully now. Very slow grower for me. I don't know why. He's been underneath my grow light ever since I've had him. I got 2, I was ripped off, I feel like, I'm just being honest, from the seller of this Brantinum, I don't know how you say it, but I paid overpriced. I got charged overpriced for the 2 measly cuttings that I got, but this plant is doing beautiful. To me, it's a slow grower. He just recently started giving me 3 leaves, but I have this guy, and it'll take a while before he'll trail, obviously, as you can see. This is my Philodendron Black Cardinal. He's getting bigger by the day. He shoots up a leaf probably once a week, once every week and a half. He is gorgeous. He has these coppery black tinge of green. I mean, he's gorgeous. He's gonna be so pretty when he gets bigger. You all are going to think I'm nuts. This has been the hardest plant for me to take care of, and I think it's hysterical. The giveaway video commented about me being the Monstera Deliciosa. I totally get it now. I think it was kind of an eye-opening experience, or light bulb went off. This plant has been the most difficult for me to grow. I've had to throw away bits and parts. Every time that it gets to a certain stage, it starts to have root rot. I don't know what to do. I've done everything for this plant. I think I just need to buy a more well-established plant. I don't know, but this one I butt heads with like crazy. And I don't even know. I don't know. He has 1 leaf that is fenestrated. I love it. It was my only leaf. And this is his newest leaf right here. I'm hoping that he will give me a new leaf. I feel a growing baby right here. Pray for me that he survives, because none of these have survived for me. I don't know why. I don't know. But anyways, I'm like, oh, no wonder we don't get along. It's got an attitude like me. It's got a personality like me, where me and my daughter butt heads because we're so similar. Me and the Monstera butt heads because people think we're very similar. So there is my Monstera, a Monstera / Philodendron. This is my wide form, or round form. I can't say this word right. Adenosonii. But this I found at my local nursery. You guys, I was like screaming. I was like, no, they don't. And my eyes got huge, and I ran over to these plants. They were on an end cap. Everybody was like, it was a busy day, and they were like looking at me like I lost my mind, which I probably did. And I like, they have them, I can't believe it. And so I got this guy. He was a little expensive, but my husband saw how excited I was, and I just gave him that look of please, 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 please don't say no. He was like, fine, we can get it. But he is beautiful. He is doing well. I'm hoping he does have a little bit of like damaged leaves, but what I'm thinking is that they were already like that. But I did spray some neem oil on him, a neem oil solution, to help with parasites and bugs and all that. But the new growth he is giving me is beautiful. He is growing like crazy already. I repotted him up because he was almost root bound. So I potted him up in my aeroid mixture. My Philodendron Prince of Orange. Is the Prince of Orange supposed to be this dark? Because he reminds me a lot of the Macaulay's Finale. I think that's how you say it. He is really dark. I thought the Prince of Orange was more of like a lime green or a lighter green with really light orange leaves. And he just looks more of like an autumn, you know, when the leaves turn in the fall time to like a green to autumn, yellowish, burgundy-ish, orangish. I just don't see, I guess he looks different to me. I don't know. He just has the darker leaves that I'd never expected, because the Prince of Orange, I have seen, unless people are putting filters on their cameras, which I do, I'm guilty of it too, unless they're putting filters up on those cameras. But this is my Prince of Orange, is what I've bought him by, the name. So there's this guy, and he's given me, as you can see, brand new leaf. The lighting may not be good for you guys, but that's what we're stuck with. I have a story about my Philodendron Xanadu. Now this was a gift from a very special friend, Myra. This plant was not much bigger, but a little bit bigger. What happened was the root system on this plant, I mean, the roots are coming up at the top. I try to cover them up. I got him, I planted him up in a huge ceramic or terracotta pot. He started wilting a lot. He looked like he was dying, so I pulled him up. His roots were just awkward and weird. So I ended up, oh, please don't, please. I know everyone's like, but I cut his roots off at the very bottom because they were weird. They were knobby. They were not typical roots. They were super thick and they didn't want to bend. They weren't even fitting in pots like this. So I cut off a portion of his bottom roots, and I know that's a no-no, but I felt like I had to. Potted him up in a smaller pot, and then I tied some jute string around him so he had a support to stay up, because he was drooping. He was sad, he was drooping, he lost a few stems, probably around 10 or 12, and I just was patient and I was waiting, because you can put a plant through trauma, especially when you're cutting the little roots off of them. I can just hear them. And so I just felt bad for this one. But Myra, he is living. He is beautiful. He has actually gotten bigger for me. He's more of a delicate, almost dainty. So I don't know, very elegant to me. And I love this Philodendron Xanadu. I then have the Philodendron by Penzafolia. I'm not quite sure how you say that. I'm going to try. This is my Philodendron Horsehead. When I got this, it's a beautiful plant. It's a tiny baby. It only had 2 leaves on it when I got it. I was a little deceived by the pictures that were posted on Etsy, but I got him. He had roots on him, so I was grateful. Potted him up, and then he just started kind of sprouting here and there. It took about a month or 2 for him to start getting new leaves, but he is my more recent. He actually has a baby on the way, if you can see that right there, and I just have him supported up by some bamboo, and he is doing beautifully for me. His leaves, well, yeah, they darken up, because when they first come out, they're more like a gray-blue color. It's really cool. But I have him outside in my living room with most of my philodendrons. All right, here is one of my favorite philodendrons as of right now, is my Philodendron Painted Lady. And so I'm going to show you, these are more dark leaves. I'm hoping you can see that, because I cannot see you. When they're more matured, she's almost more of a red color. Do you see her stems? But when she first gives birth, she is very yellow. I love her. She has given me 3 leaves since I've had her. I think I've had her for about 2 months now. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me, but she is growing like crazy. This is a very fast growing philodendron for me. So here is my Philodendron Painted Lady. Here is my Philodendron Royal Queen. She is a smaller one right now. I really need to get some climbing poles, guys. If you have any suggestions on what the best ones are, I have heard that moss poles will go bad, like they'll start to rot. And so I've been looking like coconut fiber climbing poles for all my climbing plants, my vining plants that like to climb up trees, all of that. I know that this philodendron will get huge if I give her something to climb. I've been thinking about going to Home Depot or Lowe's to buy untreated trellis for them to climb up. And but yeah, this is my Philodendron Royal Queen. And if you look back at the little jungle plant unboxing, you will see this plant has grown probably double in leaves. She's about the same size height-wise, but with her leaves, she has grown so beautifully, and she's getting heavier now, so she's tilting to the side with the bamboo stick. I then have the Philodendron Ring of Fire. This is considered a slow grower, but since I've had this plant probably a good month, maybe more, not quite sure, maybe 2 months, she has given me, or he, a new leaf. This is brand new right here. So you saw me do this on the plants that I have acquired for either May or June. I think it was June. And then also she has a new leaf right there. And this plant is the coolest plant. Very awkward to set this plant because it's so wide, like my Moonlight is, and my Prince of Orange and some other of my plants. It's hard to situate or organize plants when they're like this. I'm in deep doo-doo because I have a lot of plants like this, but I have my Philodendron Ring of Fire. Beautiful. Another one that I got from my Crazy Plant Life, Shamika. I am now going to do a close-up of some of the philodendrons that I have. This video is way too long behind me so that I don't knock everything over. And then after I show that clip, I will just end it there. Thank you for watching, everybody. I love you so much. If you have not seen the giveaway I have done, please check that out. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. And then let's get on to the last philodendrons I have to show you in my collection. I love you all. So right here, I have my Philodendron Deja Vu. Now the Philodendron Deja Vu and the Philodendron Xanadu to me look awfully similar. Let me know if you know anything about those two philodendrons. And so I have her right here. She's doing really well. She's another one that likes my humidity room, so I don't take her out in the front room, at least for now. And then right above her, I have my Philodendron Burl Marks, and he is popping out leaves right and left. This is the most hardy plant I think I have in the collection. Love him. Popping out new leaf there. Let me see if I can see anymore. There was like 3 more other ones I saw. Where'd you go? Oh, there's one back there. You see him right there. Oh, right behind her, right there. She's very happy right now. I love this plant. It's so easy to grow. I'm propagating one right now for Davi, my friend. So there's that one. And then I'm going to, not trying to show off my plants. I'm just looking to see if I'm forgetting anyone. So you all saw this guy, my Philodendron Lemon Lime. Love this plant. I actually took that super expensive cutting, the cutting that I thought was gonna die, and popped her in there. I think she's doing pretty good for right now. And then, oh, I forgot to show you my Florida Beauty. This is what I thought I was going to lose is my Florida Beauty. I think this leaf right here is expiring. She's turning a little yellow. It took forever to propagate this plant too, you guys. It took me about 2 months, 3 months maybe, but she gave me a brand new leaf right there. So I'm very, 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 very happy. Shows that she is growing. Her roots are getting stronger. I actually think her roots, look at how cool the red brownish is on her stems. I think she's so cool. I think her stems are gonna start coming out, or not her stems, her roots out of the bottom of that pot. So that is my Philodendron Florida Beauty. Oh, this is gonna be a long video. And then I have just my heart leaf green philodendron. I love him. He's huge and he trails like crazy, but I have him hung up kind of right here right now. And then above this, I have my ginormous, fluffy Philodendron Brazil. I love him. I've had him since the beginning of my plant collecting. If you did not see that, it is in the very beginning when I started doing plant videos. Got him off Etsy from Hertz. I got a 6-inch pot, and that guy may need a bigger pot soon. We'll see. He's one of my favorites too. I don't give him enough credit, but I love that plant. And then right next to her is my Philodendron Micans velvet leaf. And he has grown like crazy. When you guys saw that plant unboxing with him from Plants and Pamperin, and I believe it's Abe who owns that shop, this came in a 4-inch pot. This is now in a 6-incher. Do you see how much he's grown? Love me some fertilizer. So that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed my philodendron collection, and I will try to shorten this up as much as I can and shorten up everything, but we will talk to you soon. I love you all. God bless.